Okay, let's take a look at literal equations and formulas. And it says a literal equation is an equation that involves two or more variables. So let's take a look at problem 1. We're writing a literal equation. It says the equation 10x plus 5y equals 80, where x is the number of pieces and y is the number of sandwiches, models the number and models the problem and the solve it. So remember to solve it. Here is an equation to model that. How many sandwiches can you buy if you buy 3 pieces or 6 pieces? So if we take the equation 10x plus 5y equals 80 and we solve for y, I would first subtract 10x from both sides because I'm trying to get my y by itself. So I get 5y equals 80 minus 10x. Then I would divide both sides by 5. And I get 80 divided by 5, which is 16. And 10 divided by 5, which is 2x minus 2x. And so I can use that now to plug in my values of 3 and 6 for x. So when I plug in 3 at first, I get 16 minus 2 minus 3, which is 2 times 3, which is 6, so I get 10. And when I plug in 6, I get 16 minus 2 times 6, which is 12, which gives me 4. So if you buy 3 pizzas, you can buy 10 sandwiches, as you can see here. And if you buy 6 pieces, you can buy 4 sandwiches. Okay, let's take a look at the guided. It says solve 4 equals 2m minus 5n for m. So we have 4 equals 2m minus 5n. And I want to solve it for, let me check back m. So I want m by itself, so I'm going to add 5n to both sides. So I want m by itself, so that goes away. I'm left with 5m plus 4 equals 2. I'm sorry, I keep putting an m for that m. Okay, next I want to get my m by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And I get 5 over 2n plus 2 equals m. Alright, so then it says, what are the values of m when n is equal to -2, 0, and 2? Excuse me, I keep hitting the wrong button. So we have n equals -2, 0, and 1, I believe it was. Nope, it was 2. Okay, and so let's do that. So we have 5 over 2 times -2 plus 2. And I want to find out what m is. And so that cancels out. I'm left with -5 plus 2 equals m. So I get -3 equals m. So I'm going to erase some of this over here. Because I've run out of space. And I get, when m is -3, n is -2. Alright, so let's do for 0. So I have 5 over 2 times 0 plus 2 equals m. That's an easy one. I just get 2 because that crosses out. And so when m is 0, n is, oops, I'm sorry, I wrote that backwards. When m is 2, n is 0. And the way that I know which one to put first in my order pairs might not necessarily be right, but usually we go in alphabetical order. So m comes before n in the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. So M, N. Alright, the last one, we have 5 over 2 times 2 plus 2 equals m. Again, my 2's crossed out. I'm left with 5 plus 2, which gives me 7. So when m is 7, n is 2. I hope, well, actually I think there's one more. Okay, there's a part B also. It says solve problem 1 by substituting x equals 3 and x equals 6 into the equation.
and then solve for y in each case. Do you prefer this method or the method shown in problem 1? Explain. So let's do it. This is strictly an opinion problem, right? So I have 10 times 3, oops, plus 5y equals 80. So I get 30 plus 5y equals 80. So I subtract 30 from both sides now. I can solve for y now. And I get 5y equals 50. Divide both sides by 5. And I get y equals 10. Okay, let's see if that's the same answer we got the first time. I get when I plug in 3, I get 10. Strictly your preference, which one you like to do the best, which way you like it the best. I'll leave that for you to answer. Let's do it for 6 and see if we get the same answer as well. So we have 10 times 6 plus 5y equals 80. And I get 60 plus 5y equals 80. Subtract 60 from both sides now because I can solve for y. And I get 20. Divide both sides by 5. And I get y equals 4. Let's check and see if that's the same answer we got the first time. It is. We get y equals 4. Sorry about that. I keep hitting the wrong button, but I hope that this helps.